Hey people, Sam here. Between Waffle House last night and playing Stellaris with my Discord for 4.5 hours today, my voice is ready. I am ready. I am pumped up and shredded. I'm going insane just thinking about the Galactic Federation, weak, tiny, and ineffectual as it is. However, at some point, it was big and strong and had every species in FTL as a representative of their kind, their governments, their species. Jeepers. Although the Federation is mostly made up of humans, the NG are perhaps its biggest supporters. If you'll remember right, they've even gone as far as to build them stealth ships, despite, their official non-aggression pact with the rebels. Yeah, most of the Federation's power is concentrated in the final sector, but the remnants of larger Federation forces and bases can be found throughout the game. However, they're generally in extreme duress, so they're not doing too hot. Perhaps the biggest notable event in Federation history, besides, the rebellion, was the War with the Mantis. You can even find a lot of weapon caches in the game that are from said war. Hell, apparently the Mantis even made it to Earth, which makes humans the only other species to my knowledge to have a canon homeworld, sharing that with the Rockmen. Well, in any case, there are two known members, besides of course you and your crew, of the Federation, that being General Trollsy, who is an NG, and Admiral Tully, who is human. And while looking for info about perhaps an origin for their names, I came across this wiki for something called Kestrel Adventures. It seemed to be a pretty big FTL thing. I suppose it's still going. Kinda interesting, I've never heard of that. But yeah, that's the only place I could find any information about them, and it's non-canon. Although it did get me thinking. A series, or mod, about the Mantis War with the Federation could be really interesting. I don't know, something to think on, perhaps. Well, in any case, in case you haven't been able to tell, which I suppose you should have from the thumbnail, maybe, today we're talking about the Federation cruisers. So with that, let's move on to their names. The Osprey. Well, it's named after the predatory bird, ospreys. They're big birds and hardy. They're found everywhere, except Antarctica, unfortunately. Yeah, apparently they're the only living member of its family. Panionidae. Something like that. Yeah, they're seabirds. They're really cool. And I'm assuming that it's referring to the fact that this ship is a kind of space predator. The Neosis. I've heard the Neosis called the Penosis. Nisus was a Greek king. Or at least in the myths he was. Nisus, Neosis, same name. Yeah, he was the king of Mergana. Now, in one of the myths, when he was really pissed off, he turned into an osprey and started attacking people. So, once again, keeping up with that sea eagle theme, the Frigidae. Now, this is named after the frigate bird, which are seabirds. Ooh, yeah, baby! Continuing the trend. Now, they have large sacs. Look at those sacs. You see, males have these cool guller pouches, right? That's what they're called. And they use them to attract females. Look at this. Man, the Federation really does have a bird obsession, doesn't it? Layout A. This ship features the latest in Federation technology, an advanced beam weapon that pierces through shields. Default name, the Osprey. Starting reactor, 8. Starting crew, 1 human, Mantis, Rockman, and NG. Starting systems, artillery beam, and weapon control 2. Starting weapon, burst laser 2. Starting resources, 5 missiles and 2 drone parts. To unlock this ship, defeat the Rebel flagship prototype, or defeat the Rebel flagship with any cruiser. So let's talk about the big boy, big thing about this ship. The artillery beam. So this automatically fires a beam weapon that pierces through all shields, save Zoltan super shields. Deals 1 damage per room hit and has a 10% chance to start a fire. The weapon pre-igniter does not work with this, however the automated reloading augment does. Along with this, when firing it does not disrupt cloaking, and upgrading this beam decreases the charge time for it, all the way down to 20 seconds, which is great. Its crew allows for basically anything you need. The NG to run around and fix things, the Rockman to stay at the piloting seat and not move, Human to help out wherever needed, and the Mantis to kill boarders. Really cool. Along with this, it also has a burst laser too, which is a fantastic weapon. Great early game. And it pairs well with any weapons you may find. Generally, I find rushing to level 2 shields to be a very safe bet. And then from there, wherever you want to tech is viable. If you find cool weapons, upgrade weapons to accommodate them. Or even focus on the beam. Really, anything you want to do with this ship regarding those two things, hell, even if you want to make it into a boarding ship later, this ship has options. It's really good. Layout B. This ship features additional artillery power, encouraging heavy reliance on the beam. Default name, the Neosis. Starting reactor, 9. Starting crew, 1 human, Slug, and Zoltan. Starting systems, artillery beam 2 and weapon control 2. Starting weapons, dual lasers and Leto missiles. Starting resources, 9 missiles. To unlock this ship, earn 2 of the 3 Federation cruiser achievements. Well, it has some decent starting weapons. If you find better ones, you can always replace them. Or hell, even having the dual laser, only costing 1 energy, to pair with something better you find, but pretty dang good actually. This ship really does want you to use the artillery beam more. At level 2, it takes about 40 seconds in between each firing. And I don't know, it feels like this ship has a ton of power. Or at least that's how I always feel when starting off with it. I don't feel like I have to really tech into the reactor at all. At least not for the first sector when using this. Perhaps having the Zoltan in the weapon system? Well hell, have the Zoltan in the weapon system no matter what. They're using ion weapons and manage to disable the weapon system? Well, you're gonna always have 1 weapon online, costing 1 power, and having 1 Zoltan powering it. Woo! Along with that, having the Slug as a pilot, then you can have the human like on the engine. And repairing. Yeah, this is a more extreme version of the Osprey. Once again, I suggest a similar strategy. Focus on shield and beam. Engines always help. Now this is a turtle ship. You can tell because it's green, but also, yeah, it really encourages you to wait for its massive laser beam to fire. But, once again, like all ships, adapt if need be, or if a cool weapon or augment comes up. But yeah, it does very well at what it's intended to do. Layout C. With a flak artillery weapon and an improved clone bay, only the most suicidal of infantry chooses to fly on this ship. Default name, the Frigade. Starting reactor, 7. Starting crew, 1 human, 1 Mantis, and 2 Zoltan. Starting systems, clone bay, 2. Teleporter, 1. Flak artillery, and weapon control, 1. No starting weapons. Starting augment, emergency respirators. Starting resources, 5 missiles. To unlock this ship, reach Sector 8 with the Federation Cruiser Type B and Advanced Edition content enabled. Alright, this ship is interesting. It's a boarding ship that encourages you to throw your crew at the enemy over and over again and just have them die. Level 2 cloning, pretty nice for this strat. 2 Zoltan to explode when they die, pretty nice for this strat. Or even if you have a Mantis and a Zoltan, that's a fine enough strategy too, I suppose. Hell, having 4 crew to start with is really good. However, this ship is for the lucky. It's a little hard to build. I suppose you could go for level 2 teleporter, but that's, I guess, the main thing it wants you to do, because I'm not gonna lie, the flak artillery, it basically has the same stats as the beam, you know, all those modifiers, except it fires 7 flak particles, bundles, and they don't pierce shields. And they're random, like the beam. So, you should really hope that you get a Slaver event and another Mantis. Or maybe a really good weapon you can save up a ton of scrap for and focus on that. Because 2 Zoltan's nothing to sneeze at for extra power. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't had a lot of luck with this ship, and I've done it a fair bit, so I guess play into its intended strategy. If you know of anything better, honestly, put it down below, because I suppose now isn't the time for it, but I really don't like this ship. Federation Cruiser A, the Osprey. Alright, so, fantastic crew. Human Mantis NG Rockman. A wide array of blue event options. Very good. Along with that too, they all have very specific roles they can fulfill on this ship, right? Rockman Captain, he's solid, he stays there. Human on engines, so he doesn't generally move. Mantis on shields, and then NG on maybe door control, so you know, he can run around if need be and repair things. A fantastic array of options. The artillery beam is very good. Along with that, the burst laser Mark II is also really good. It's just a solid ship. It's great at what it does, it's good at killing things. Mwah. You can build it practically any way you want, and for that, I think this deserves a solid S tier. Although, yeah, it's at the bottom of S. It's a great ship, don't get me wrong, but I think that's where it belongs. Layout B, the Neosis. Humans are eh, but slugs and Zoltan, oh, pretty awesome. This may have slightly more blue event options? No, it probably doesn't. In any case, solid starting crew. Solid starting crew. And along with that, a level 2 artillery beam is really good. It is, once again, a fantastic ship. Now, I did ask my Discord server for some of their opinions, and Fluff has come in once again with some. And he generally agrees. Fantastic, good ship. We both agree that the weapons on the Neosis are not as good as the Osprey. But other than that, it's pretty much functionally the same, save for the starting, you know, beam upgrade. Personally, I really like this ship. I think it deserves actually the top of... Alright, just before the top of B. I love my slugs, I love my Zoltan. Perhaps I love slugs more than almost any other species, however, here's the thing. Not having a burst laser 2 is actually a big downside. An artillery beam, oh, good. So, yeah, you know what, fuck it, it's in B. No changing my mind, this is the Sam correct opinion. Oh boy, but now we have to come to Layout C, the Frigidae. And this is a Frigidaean sucky ship. I don't like this ship. Listen, the flak artillery is cool, but it really sucks. Man, it has to deal with shields unlike the artillery beams, and along with that, it can miss. Oh, it's not good. Honestly, a flak weapon, just a standard one, I think is honestly better. Don't quote me on that, though. I'm not very scientific in that. Just, you know, general observation. Along with that, its teleporting gimmick is sucky. It's a neat idea in concept, but I'm not gonna lie. I like teleporting ships, but I don't have a lot of fun playing this ship with the teleporting strategy of blowing up Zoltan that it encourages. I don't like this ship. And once again, dear old Floof on Discord agrees with me. Now, he did bring up a great point where, you know, it might be slightly better if you consider that you do get more rewards, or better reward rolls, from boarding. And to that I say, fair enough. It doesn't go in F tier. Instead, it goes at the very bottom of E tier. Fuck this ship. You know, this one should have been called the Neosis, so I could call it the Pinosis. But yeah, now with my rambles about the frickin' Frigidae out of the way, we're coming near the end of this little mini-series, eh? Got 2 types of ships left. And then from there, I plan on making a video about the old Captain's Edition mod. And I'm cooking up an idea with Multiverse. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!